Even though we put in tons of work and a lot of effort to make sure that the bison have the best lifestyle that we could possibly provide for them, sometimes unexpected things happen.
I got a phone call from one of our guys, and he says, hey, like, we've got a buffalo stuck. Like, you need to get up here and we got to get her out. There was like this slough, and this particular animal, as the herd moved across this somewhat dried up slough, the mud was too deep and she got stuck. She was able to work her way over to the edge to where she could almost pull herself out, but she couldn't do it. We got a tractor out there. It was cold, mud coming up, coming up to your knees. You're trying to reach around her, and she's still mobile, so you're trying not to get hooked with a horn or get hit in the face. Like, you're trying to help her, but she doesn't know you're trying to help her. They're that kind of animal.
That leg's gotta be asleep. It's tucked up under. Yeah, there you go. Where's she got it loose? Easy, girl.
I get the chain finally put around her and kind of directing the guy running the tractor, and we kind of get her lifted up, and then we kind of get her moved out of the mud to where she can be on some dry ground. And we were able to get a straw bale and put some straw around her and try and get her warmed up so she would survive. Unfortunately, in this case, she didn't make it. Like, that's the harsh reality of dealing with livestock of any kind. We all have a life expectancy. We're all going to die, and for her, that was the day for her. You learn to love these animals and rely on them, and they rely on you, because without them, you're not getting paid. And if you're not getting paid, then you're not buying hay. And if you're not buying hay, then they're not going to eat in the winter. So it's this cycle that each animal has to help you, and you have to help them, and a bond forms between the animal and you. And I feel that connection with those animals in the way we do things, and the amount of money we spend to try and keep them healthy and keep them safe, and all the things that good stewards would do. Every summer, we always try and make like one major improvement on a ranch or wherever it is we're working.
So one thing we did this summer was we put in a scale so that everything that comes onto the ranch we can weigh.
Breakfast time. Sausage, egg, and cheese muffin for $2.49. It's the cheapest heart attack you'll ever buy. Cold. Is it cold? It's nasty, but I'll eat it.
The hay, the straw, everything that we bring in, we can weigh it. That way we can make sure that we're paying for what we're getting. My grandpa, bless his heart, he's pulling in through the gate and didn't take it quite wide enough, and as he was pulling in, the trailer kind of like scraped along the gate.
When Roger's behind the wheel, you gotta watch out. When Roger's behind the wheel with a 32-foot flatbed trailer, you really gotta watch out. Cars, people, dogs, telephone poles, everything, they gotta move, otherwise they're gonna get run over. It's just how it is.
You know how hard it is for an 80-year-old man to turn his head sideways and look behind him? He can't. See there, look at that. I can't, that's about it, you know? They don't realize that because they're not 80, you know?
If he can't see it on his backup camera, you're not safe.
So they tease me all the time because I was always running over stuff and running into stuff. Got a brand new pickup, they put these doggone, I call them crash bars, and they're massive. I mean, I got a pickup that I could drive through most cinder block walls and it wouldn't even hurt it.
Whoever he hits, I feel bad for him, but at least we know that Grandpa's truck is good to go.
Then we get out and look at the damage, and my truck isn't even scratched because I got this great big bumpers on my car, on my pickup, you know, and I can run over deer, elk, buffalo, fences, cars. Hey, works great, you know, and mine doesn't get hurt at all, so it's a pretty good deal. Their turn will come. That's all I got to say. Their turn will come.
Brigham, what if we pull up, then just back the trailer straight towards that post? Just do it out there where it's open. Yeah. That's what I'll do.
You know, every ranch, every feed yard needs to have a scale to weigh an 18-wheeler with hay or grain or something. So that everything that comes on this ranch or leaves this ranch needs to be weighed, not guessed at and not estimated at. If you buy something and somebody tells you it weighs something and it doesn't weigh that, then it costs you money. It's better just to check everything. It's just good business. And it's time we did this. We're doing this here as well as at the feed yard, putting these scales in so now that we can weigh everything in and out. Livestock, hay, grain, whatever we need to haul and weigh, we can weigh it now.
Money.
When I bought these last fall, the guy said, well, as soon as the frost's out, we'll get up there and get this done. It's July the 15th. We're hauling hay over here, still not done. And that's business, isn't it? If somebody tells you something and then they don't follow through with what they tell you, but that's kind of the way life is, I guess. So
we may be able to just pull it up on there. If we get started or up there, we could probably spin it around while it's up on that concrete. Okay.
We just got this new ranch, the Bison Creek Ranch. There's a lot of work that goes into converting a beef ranch into a bison ranch. You get these beef ranches and the fences are 50 years old. They're held up sometimes with just baling twine and old wire, and that's not gonna work for bison.
yeah, I came walking up here and I didn't recognize.
I know.
Holy crap, there's nothing left here, but built a lot of fences.
Yep. All the corrals are gone. Burned to nothing. It's incredible what that will do to the landscape of your place. Tearing out all the nasty, wore out wood. This was all just like rotten, nasty wooden fence posts that had to go. So the only thing left is some steel fence, which is good, but we've got to redo the whole thing. So like the alley to the chute is gonna basically run right here.
Yeah, I see the picture that you made.
And then putting it undercover over there.
For beef cows, this is perfect. I'd hate to see it.
I mean, you're not going to bring your bison cows in here, cabin right there? And
Yeah, we'll bring them in one at a time and feed them a bottle and give them a warm bath.
There you go. Take good care of them.
Give them a massage.
You know, we're finding out a lot of things that we need to do that we didn't know we were going to have to do. But anytime you buy a new ranch, you got to learn it. You've got to learn what it is, how it works, where the water comes from, where the diversions are, how the sprinkler system works. We got all kinds of knowledge to gain on this ranch in order to run it efficiently and make it pay.
Yep. And not a lot of time to learn it.
And not a lot of time to learn it. So we need you young guys need to, like you say, pull up your straps, pull up your socks, put on your shoes, and get the crap to work, right?
That's right.
That's right. If you don't, you know what's going to happen to you?
Yeah.
Take a
Grandpa's
whipping.
going to take a whipping. Lot to do.
Lot to do.
Lot to do.
All right.
We better get at it.
So we went through, we tore out all of the old perimeter fence and we're able to put up a brand new fence. Something that we know that is going to keep our bison secure and safe and on our property.
We use steel posts, steel H-braces. You know, most of our fencing isn't really made out of wood. It lasts longer and we just feel like it's a little bit more durable. But the biggest difference between a bison fence and our cattle fences is mostly just the height of the fence. We've seen bison jump, taller than my head. Like we've seen them jump 6-7 foot fences. For the working facilities, it's kind of the same thing. With bison, we just build things taller. We build it more stout because bison have a tendency to try to run through things. So like a lot of our gates will have belting or something to make them like so that they look solid. Whereas if it's just like a normal gate where they can like kind of see through it, it seems like a lot of times they think, since I can kind of see past it, they think that they can put their head down and hit it. And sometimes they'll damage the gate or sometimes they'll hurt themselves and things like that. So we make sure that they're solid so that the bison can see them really well, and that'll kind of give them pause. And we found that we can save a lot of animals by doing that. So we put in a squeeze chute called a Berlinic, made by Berlinic Manufacturing. And it's actually our 5th one that we've bought.
We really enjoy the Berlinic squeeze chute. We feel it's the best one on the market. We have 5-6 of them, and we bought one and we liked it so much it just started compounding, and we just started switching over from any squeeze chute that we had in the past to these ones. It's safer for the vet. It's safe for the ranchers and the people working. Once the bison is in, we'll squeeze the animal sideways, and then we'll squeeze its neck right behind its horns, and so it can't back up, it can't go forward, and the animal is held securely. But when they get in the squeeze chute with a Berlinic, they're not going anywhere, they're not hurting themselves, and they're not hurting anyone else.
We run about 1,000 head of beef cows on our ranch.
So every once in a while, we get to saddle up our horses and go chase beef cows in the mountains, and it's a really good time to go try and round up 1,000 beef cows in the Rocky Mountains. It's beautiful. Every day is beautiful when you're able to go do that. This particular day, we were able to have one of my best friends, Nate, and my boy was able to come, and we're able to go out and ride the range and push cows. And I don't care where you're from or what you do for a living, that's something that everyone should experience at least one time in their life.
I'm Nate Jaussi. I'm right here born and raised in Idaho Falls. I've known Brock for a long time. Middle school is when we first got to know each other. Didn't hang out a whole lot with each other in middle school. I don't know, kind of thought he was a weird looking kid and didn't do much with him.
I moved into Nate's neighborhood when I think I was a sophomore in high school, and Nate found it out that I liked to hunt and he liked to hunt, and we just started going places. Gas was like 95 cents a gallon, and I had a Jeep. We thought we could go anywhere.
So Brock, he's honestly is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I mean, he could be an airhead too. Like the stuff he forgets is incredible. And he'll tell you the same story over and over, in the same day. Like he never told it to you before.
Since 10th grade, probably, Nate's been there. I just can't seem to get rid of him. He just keeps following me around.
I think I'm 4 years younger than Brock, so I was probably like in 8th grade, probably 14 years old. And, not quite to the age where my mom was just like letting me totally run wild. I couldn't drive yet, things like that. So Brock and Nate were trying to convince my mom to let me go. And she was kind of hesitant, like, I don't know, you guys, we must have been doing something where she wasn't really that comfortable with me going. And they're sitting there trying to convince her, and finally, Nate, he just looks at my mom, he goes, Melissa, pop your you-know-what out the boy's mouth and let him grow up. And she just kind of like, sat there and didn't know what to say at all. And she just kind of was like, okay, take care of him, And that was it. After that, my mom really never gave me much of a hard time about going and doing stuff like that ever again.
We finally got done pushing our cattle out where they needed to be for the summer. We got back to the ranch house. It was a little bit later in the evening, and so we decided just to stay the night up there. And somehow, some way, someone ended up with this sucker called the toe of Satan.
Is it kind of like cinnamony?
Yeah. So it's like a
Like a cinnamon bear, really hot cinnamon bear. I feel like you're like, go.
You know this is gonna kill.
I mean, I've done it.
You're wussing out. You can't sample it.
Dude, that's hot.
Sample it before you go.
That is hot.
Lick it again.
I was saying, go for it.
You lick it.
I ain't licking it. You're the one that said you'd lick it.
I ain't licking that again. That sucker's freaking hot, dude. You try it.
No. I know, I hate the heat.
Oh, man.
That's it?
It's a real man right there.
Dude, it's hot.
Close your mouth on.
No.
Close your mouth on.
You try it.
You try it, bro.
I'm not doing it.
Do it. Here, try it.
Oh.
Hold on to that. It's more tingly than hot. There's only one person here that hasn't done it.
Bad camera.
Don't be doing that.
My ears were burning. This is Nathan's debut on Bison Boys, and he is going to lick Satan's toe.
I'm already got my eyes are watering.
Okay, just give it a good solid full tongue.
Just swab your tonsils. It's fine.
He doesn't have tonsils.
Oh, come on.
That was a full tongue.
No, it wasn't.
That was
you
a
got
tap.
That was a full tongue.
That was touch.
and it's already burning.
You wouldn't even
do
get,
it.
That was a love tap.
Dude,
Do it, Nate.
I'm
Do
not
it.
doing another
you
one.
wouldn't
Do it.
even get expelled from BYUI with like that. You gotta go deeper than that.
Come on,
No
Nate.
way.
Do it.
Oh, my eyes are watering.
Yeah, lick that thing.
I did.
Lick it.
You touched your
You
tongue.
touched your tongue.
You gotta drag it down.
I'm not dragging that.
Drag it down. Do it, Nate.
Drag that thing.
Come on, Nate. Give it a lick. Just give it a lick.
No, I'm good. Dude,
Give it a lick.
That's
another
your,
one.
that's your debut.
Dude, I'm freaking watering.
That's how you're coming in?
That's how you're coming in.
That's how I'm coming in. I'm just dipping my toe.
You mean that's how you're going out?
We always joke that Nate comes out smelling like a rose. And I don't know how he pulls it off, but it's true. Somehow, we're camping or something and we end up in a rainstorm. Somehow Nate's stuff ends up dry. And everybody else's stuff is wet.
And that's just kind of Nate's personality. He's just kind of a wimp. The summer, we were just yanking and cranking, trying to get everything done.
We got everything done that we needed to, and day one we show up to work the Bison, and it's probably the driest and the dustiest I have ever seen that place.
It is cold and miserably dusty. The problem with dust, you can't see the Bison can't see you.
And it's downright dangerous.